Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. There was another playtest of old school classic MapleStory, revealing a lot of massive changes to the game. It looks like the team is not shying away from making bigger changes to classic MapleStory, so it won't be the pure experience in that regard for those MapleStory classic purists. I went through all the gameplay footage and a few things caught my attention. Let's talk about the biggest change that I noticed right away, and this is freaking huge. It looks like the team is making skill adjustments, and these are not just some minor damage tweaks. Check out this cleric and fire poison mage shooting their fire arrow and holy arrow. Did you see it? They're shooting multiple arrows. Fire poison mage, their skills were notoriously bad back in the day, especially second job, so I'm happy to see that they're getting some buffs. I mean, I'm not sure if clerics need to get buffed, but then again, holy arrow was kinda useless. But yeah, those skills now do 3 lines of damage, and this just might be a little bit of desync. I don't think so, perhaps, maybe. But it looks like Savage Blow has a bit more range to it. Like, I remember I practically had to stand on top of monsters to hit them, but this character seems to be hitting them from pretty far away. These really are some huge and meta-defining changes right here. What do you think about the team making these changes, by the way? There also seem to be changes to the actual skill balance. I checked Pre-Big Bang Hidden 3 to confirm my suspicion, and Knivesu only went to level 8 before, and definitely not level 15, and not sure if the team is trolling by leveling up Disorder instead of Darkside, or if they actually made this skill to be useful. By the way, some of the footage might be a bit confusing to look at stat-wise, but it looks like the team prepared some characters to run in PQ as part of the test, because they have some items that definitely were not available in just the Victoria Island, like the Nimble Whiskguard and Snowshoes and some of the other high level items that we see during the gameplay. Some of them you could only get in Ariant, Orbis or Ludi. Also, over here you can see the players who changed their job through an NPC, probably as a part of the gameplay test to make things easier. Pretty sure we're not going to be able to do that in the actual live version. It would be interesting though. Plus they were followed by GM characters giving them GM buffs, which might be why we see some footage where players have like 2 haste buffs and some other more damage buff, things like that. Also, it seems that players can still put points in HP and MP, by the way. Another thing that I noticed that is different is that the hands stat has been removed. What was it even for anyway? Instead, we can now see crit rate and critical damage. Back in the day, you didn't even see those, so that's definitely a huge quality of life improvement. I also saw some minor quality of life improvements. For example, as you can now set pickup rights. You can see that right there in the chat when someone creates or joins a party. And I noticed that the UI was transparent at one point, which is definitely a setting from modern MapleStory as well. And this might not be 100% confirmed, but judging from the way the footage is flowing, it looks like this party is going in KPQ, and then right away another party is joining KPQ in the same channel, which would actually be pretty huge. However, that also means you don't have to keep track of people, you can remove your track list from your desk. Besides that, it looks like the old login menu is back. That's so nostalgic to see, and character creation was slightly tweaked, as we could see that we can choose more hair colors than before. There also are a few things happening in this video that I can't really wrap my head around. This green snail is extremely tanky, for example. Either his name is Bob or there's something funky going on with this snail. Also, character Tofu seems to be leveling up out of nowhere, but later in the shot it is confirmed that she is in fact in a party. And if I remember correctly, you couldn't really party up until you reach level 10. That certainly is a way to make things go faster in Maple Island though, and it would definitely be more fun to play with a group of friends, just wreaking havoc on Maple Island as we all start together. So wow, these are definitely some huge changes. Another thing that I was wondering about is that we haven't actually seen the free market yet or any cash shop items like at all. So I'm wondering what's up with that. But either way, these are some huge changes coming to Classic. Later this month, on the 25th of October, MapleCon will happen, and there we get to see more details on the changes and hopefully get a release for Classic World. So yeah, what are your opinions on everything that's been revealed with this new trailer? I'm flabbergasted, to be honest. I was expecting some changes, but not changes this huge. Let me know in the comments. And that's all I had for today. Thanks for watching, and as always, special thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Special thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian Hanøy, Caudimorda, Lee, BackSpaceOTI, Ziggy, Flidiot, Knivesu, Cloudfix, Menchaca, Raythius, Betrayal1489, Sylvio, Neto, StrikerElk, Ryaiser, Aryu, MaxBurnHeart, The Passenger, ScottyFlysFast, Only, Spudsy, snafuPop, Dewey, Tran, Kaniwoo, Domi, Kirch-Nehammer, Dexzu, Dantevictory, The Wolf Drake, Lord Fazil, Matthew Dev, Tails Curspet, DVNCA, and Schwandro. Thank you all so much for watching.